Good morning or afternoon, wherever you may be. My name is Landon Krigler, and I'm broker owner of Krigler Realty Group and a company called Text Catcher. But what we're going to talk about today has to deal with real estate. And the title is How to Make $1,000 to $5,000 more on each FHA sale that you make. Now, you may know that you can add money to the commission from the buyer side, but we're going to show you how to do that and how to get it accepted on both ends, when to offer your exclusive agency agreement, and how to present it to the seller, how to write your contract. So we're going to cover 5 things. First, the buyer's exclusive agency. We're going to show you that. And then I'm going to show you a tool that you've never seen before, probably, because I created this tool. I used to have 5 franchise mortgage companies. We went into real estate companies, normally a little bit larger, and taught their agents how to get 2 checks on every sale, one for the commission and one for the mortgage that they would originate. And we made it simple with this tool, and we're going to show you, and this will help you to work with the buyer and to work with the other agent to show the expenses to get this accepted where you can make more money on that exclusive buyer's agency. Now, we're going to tell you where you can get this tool. It's free, and there'll be no sales pitch here on this webinar. This is strictly for information. So we're going to get right into it. I think I've given you some credentials. I've trained hundreds of realtors how to use this, and we've done thousands of mortgages using this. And there is a definite way for you to make more money on each sale. And isn't that what we need right now? If there's less business, wouldn't you want to make more money on each closing? If it's possible, legal, and beneficial, and it will be. It's going to help you very much. So let's go with our first one here. I'm going to share my screen with you, and let's go down here. We're going to share, and these things will look familiar to you. And the first one is going to be the exclusive buyer's agency agreement. Now, this is ours, and if you'd like a copy of this, then I'll be happy to send it to you. And then you have the term here. Normally, you'll make it for 6 months, scope of service, and so forth. And then there's some legal information. But here is the one that you will be concerned about. If you want to charge a retainer fee, we normally don't do this upfront money, but it's no different from an attorney or a doctor. Now, we consider ourselves professionals. If you go into a doctor's office and you are in excruciating pain, say you have a broken femur. Now, there's a comedian that talks about that. He says, say 8 when you go in the hospital. That's the amount of pain that you have to get that drug to ease the pain. But what we need to do is to convince them that they should sign this document. So if you feel like a retainer fee is not what you need, but normally what I do is the B part. We'll pay you a fee, and let's just say 3% of the purchase price. And I may include it in the offer to purchase. And that's what we're going to tell the potential buyer. Now, when do you offer this? Well, now, a doctor will get you to sign a consent agreement immediately, and you will sign that because you are in pain, are you not? And a lawyer, if you enter in that office, he's going to ask you to retain him as your counsel, legal counsel. They'll offer, if they're in an accident, they'll tell you, but we're talking 30, 40, 50% of a large settlement. And so they'll take a chance on that. So other professionals ask their clients or customers to sign these agreements, and they have no problem doing that. And so are we not professionals? Think about all the things that you're going to do during this transaction. Now, you're going to coordinate all the inspections, and of course, you're going to split a commission. And in our area, the selling commission is actually lower. You can explain that to the customer if that's the case where you are. But you're going to tell them, I'm going to get you the best price or the house. If there's competition, I'm going to do my dead level best. And you're going to ask them a few questions, just like when they go into that lawyer. What happened? Why are you here? What's your situation? And you may do some digging ahead of time too. And we'll show you how to use our tool as far as their financial. They have to give you this, but you want to not bring this out too quick, this agency agreement. You have to build rapport. You have to build confidence in you. And you can do that. We're going to give you this tool, and you're going to show them after a few questions how this is going to go about. Now, this is if they're going to use an FHA. It doesn't matter. You can do it with conventional. There, you can work, but the amount of contribution that the seller can make to the buyer's lower. VA's 4%. You may have, depending on the down payment and so forth, anywhere from 2% and 4% up to that in a conventional loan. I'll have to check the 4%. But anyway, it is different on each loan, but you can work this with any type of loan and work with your loan officer to get you paid here. But again, do not bring this out too fast. You meet them, you question, and may even show them a couple of houses. And then you're going to go over what kind of financing were you intending to do. And so you're going to show them that you are the professional. You're going to give them to the dollar how much it's going to cost for them to buy that house and how they want to go. If they're a veteran, then you've got 4% to work with. If they're going FHA, you got 6% to work with. So don't do it too early, but don't do it too late. How many times have they gotten away? And then if you don't have an agreement, how many times have you had somebody, and I have, gone to an open house? Well, the house was just what we needed, and the agent was so friendly. Well, you pull out this protects you, and it protects them. And that's what you also want to tell them. This is not just helping you to get a house of your dreams. It's to protect you from all the things that can harm you in a real estate transaction. And there are many, many disclosures that's not made on condition of the property, terms that are not good for your buyer. So you're not only going to find them the house, but you're going to protect them, just like that attorney is supposed to do, or that doctor is supposed to do, protect them from harm. So you need to put that in their mind when you're going to bring out this agreement, but you need to bring it out right here. So let's look at our tool when we meet. Here we go. Now, this is, let's just show you, this is dynamic. We're going to go up to, let's change it to 300,000 here. Watch everything change. You see the payment changes, the taxes, the mortgage insurance premium, that up front. This is a big one too here. So now, but on the right side here, we've got the seller minimum and for the buyer minimum. Now, if your buyer is short on money, we want to make our fees here. We've got $4,000 here on a buyer's agency fee that's not calculated in this total right here. But we're going to, now the rates are certainly different. Let's go up to 6.25 or 6.5 right here. And we're going to give you this tool. We'll show you how to do it. And let's just go to, a more affordable home, maybe 250,000. All right, there we go. So the borrower's minimum investment is $8,750. And you're going to show them this. This is going to be on your tablet or computer. You're going to have Excel, though. I hate to tell you this, it doesn't work, I don't believe, with Sheets, Google's. But this was invented long before Sheets ever thought about being invented. And it's been used many, many times with success right here. Matter of fact, we used to teach them how to qualify a person. I'll just quickly, we're not going to try to make you an expert in the mortgage field. You can talk to them, but you can be pretty close right here. Now these limits are different. Now we'll show you that later. They're almost $500,000 in most areas. San Francisco, $1,089,000 on a single unit that you can go FHA. Why is FHA preferable sometimes today? People are short on cash. They are short on cash. And you can get in for 3.5% and get the seller to pay all your costs and to pay your realtor fees. Now, we used to go into their income. We taught people how to do the ratios here. That's as guidelines used to be for VA here, but they don't go by that anymore. It has automated underwriting, takes all the factors. To give you an example, we had a doctor that had $20,000 left over each month, and he couldn't buy a house. This was before this automated underwriting came about. Well, it didn't make sense. The payment wasn't but $1,000, and he had 20 times that left over. Today, it would be like that, but he was turned down. It's crazy, crazy. So, but I didn't do my due diligence here to find things out. But we're not going to make, but that's just to show you if you want to get into it, and you'll have these limits again are low. Remember, it's 472,000, I believe, in normal areas. Then you have high cost areas, and then medium. Denver is like 800,000. So we'll show you those in just a little bit. But anyway, let's just say that you're with the customer. You've gone over all this, and you've gotten the rate from your lender here, and you want to get them in for the minimum. But at the same time, we said that you're going to make $5,000 here more, right? Isn't that what I said? 1 to 5,000. So we want to go, and you can make more than this in this loan right here too. We'll show you that. So, but here we've added the 5,000, but look what's happened here because the seller concession is not the maximum of what it could be. I only need to move this out of the way. So the minimum seller concession to get the maximum buyer, or the minimum for the buyer as well. So we want that seller to pay $13,000 instead of seller concession is $13,000. Now, that's going to sound like a lot. You're going to say, well, they're not going to do that. And guess what? You'd be wrong about that most of the time, because we're going to show you how to do this, and you're going to talk to the other agent too. $13,000. All right, there you go. Remember the minimum. I got to come up with $56 more here to bring that down, or $6.97. Excuse me, $87.50 is the borrower's minimum investment. That's 3.5% already figured for you. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Now you still have $2,000 left over here. You've got $13,000 down here, but if you want to raise this up to $7,000 right here on your agency fee, you can do that and should do that if it's possible. Now you're going to say the seller will not go for this. Okay. You're going to talk to that agent, and you can cut this off. This is another company that we own for sale by owners. But anyway, you're going to show them all the things that your buyer is paying. And what are those things? Let's look at it here just a minute. I'm going to round some of these up. So we've got upfront MIP. Now, that is not taken out here because it's going to be financed, but That doesn't matter. Your buyer is paying this, and they're going to pay many, 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 many times this figure over the life of the loan. At 6.5%, they're going to be paying and paying and paying. So they're really paying a lot more of this. If you work this out over years, what the value of this was, it would probably be $15,000. So technically, you could say they're paying $15,000, but after the whole thing. But anyway, you're going to put this in as one of their expenses right there. So we're going to say $4,300, and you're going to give this to your other side, the listing side. Look at here, they got to pay a owner's title policy, closing fee, recording, appraisal fee. A lot of these in your area may be higher. Origination fee to the lender. There we go. And on and on and on and on. Now, they also have to pay the first year of insurance in 2 months up front, and the taxes up front that's prorated, and the prepaid interest. All this they've got to pay. So we've got $4,300 up here. We've got $9,000 down here with all those other closing costs. That's $13,000. And then you've got your prepaid items here. We'll just say $4,000. $17,300 is what your buyer, and you can show them this. Say, can't you meet us? Not halfway. 35% of the way, 40% of the way. They're paying $17,300 to get into this house, and we're asking you to help them with $13,000. Does that sound fair to you? These people are qualified, and they need help. That's the reason they're going FHA. Now, if they're having multiple offers, we may have a problem here. But what we do, you know what you do. You get your approval from your buyer and you raise the price. If they've got a problem, well, I'll pay $10,000, then all we do is raise the sales price to $253, and we've got it. Then you put all this back in place right there. So that'll give them, they can pay $13,000, but we're giving them $3,000 more dollars up here on the sales price. So you use this tool to help you make your deal, and at the same time, help you make your money more. There's going to be, right now, all over the country, I did a market analysis in Atlanta, 41% drop year over year in sales. Now, pricing, it doesn't matter if you're not making any sales. If your sales are down, and some of the prices are coming down too, but some of the areas are not. So that doesn't matter. If there's no sales, it doesn't matter what the price is, does it? Not really. Not really. And so this way, you're going to make up for that 41%. Now, if you get 41% more income, and you will. See, now you're splitting this up here, or even in our area, it's going to be 40%. So you're looking at maybe 6,000, 6,500 here, not 7,500. Maybe in your area, they split equally. But in my area, they do not. So you're almost making as much on the buyer's agency as you are on the commission split. So you've actually made two sales here if you work this right. And you deserve it. You deserve it. You're going to fight for the best price if that's what's needed, or to get them the house. You're going to get in there and battle, and they're going to compensate you for your professionalism. Does that make sense to you? Use this. Use this. You're going to look like a genius here with this. Now, we're going to give you this, but you're going to need Excel. But the principles here, you can use it. You can just take these figures and do it on paper if you want to. Now, how do we get? We've talked to the buyer's agent, and we've shown them, and we want to cut this out. You can do it separate on separately. This is what my buyer's paying. Put this in there. They are paying this. The other agent may not know that this is being financed, but anyway, We're at 17,300. Where are you? We're asking for 13. We're going more than halfway to get this deal done. So that's what you do. That's what you do. All right. Now, here is what you do. And remember, we're going to give you this. We're going to tell you how to get it. So stay with us. There's a number 5 that we didn't talk about. The most important one I'm going to give you at the end. But I told you there would be no sales pitch. So this is free and there's no sales pitch. Okay? You're good with me? All right. So let's cut this out right here. You've got that. You've got your buyer's agency agreement. Now, what do we do when we approach our contract? All right. So let's just show this right here. You're going to put all these things down here in your contract. Let's go up here and we're going to increase this where you can see it maybe. Ooh, that's too. Hopefully you can see that. But anyway, you put it in here, seller to pay up to $13,000 of any cost of the buyer's choosing. And they're going to choose that agency fee as part of that and still get in for the price and the down payment that they want. Included but not limited to closing costs, prepaid items, agency fees. See right here in the middle? I don't know if you can see my browser right there or my, whatever they call that, mouse pointer. Agency fees, probably need to change that, but I don't want to do that. It'll probably break something. You ever had that happen? Sure you have. Lender's fees, and so you can list all these things in here. And that is how you're going to get that seller. You've already primed the seller's agent. Look, they're putting down $17,000 in cost, $300, and they're out of money. And they need you. They would be going conventional if they had enough money. Generally, that's the way it is. So hopefully there won't be competition, but if it is, you can work it out like we talked about. You can still make your money by increasing the sales price. And if it is an increasing market, then you can get the appraisal up to give you that fee. And you've earned it. My goodness, in this time, you've earned it. So be a professional. A doctor asks people to sign a consent form. A lawyer asks them to sign a form, engaging them, hiring them. Why wouldn't you, as a professional real estate person, do the same thing? Use that agreement, use this tool, use this wording. Now, you have to also make sure that your lender is aware that you have this agency agreement. Now, that's another way that you can get your fee paid. If everybody's at a stalemate and you can say, well, can you pay a quarter of a point more? It's just a few dollars there. And then use that rebate that the lender's going to get to pay your agency fee. Okay? So there you go. There you go. That's what we're talking about. All right. I hope this has been informative to you. Now we're going to get to where you go to get this. Now, my email is landonkrigler@gmail.com. I'll send you just ask if you want the template. I'll send that to you. The wording of the contract and our exclusive agency agreement. If you don't have one with your broker, well, you need to. Most of them do, but you need to know how to use it. Now, we didn't tell you, we didn't show you some of the things here. Let's see here. Here we go. This is limits in, so most any city, there's a Boise, so that's a mid-range city, and it's up almost to 600,000, 472,000, and that's the loan amount. So your sales price can be closer to 500,000 that you can go FHA. But look down here at San Francisco, 1,089,000. So you add 3.5% to that. So you're up, $1.2 million sales price there. Prices are crazy on it. And there was one down here in Washington, D.C., I believe, that was even higher. Arlington or somewhere around there, I thought. Maybe it's on another page. I'm not going to bore you with that. But you can get this mortgage list right off the internet. So this is accurate right here. Let me see. That's bugging me. All right. Sorry about that. There's Denver. Okay. Well, don't worry about that. So let's go back to maybe full screen. Yeah, he's talking. Andy Krieger's talking. Okay. Let's go over here, exit. Well, we're supposed to be professionals here, aren't we? Let's just stop our screen share. That's going to do it, I believe. Oh, I knew it. If you keep trying, you can make it. Never give up there. So anyway, hope this has been beneficial for you. But here's number 5. If you're still here, which I hope you are, here's the most important thing. Where do I get my customers in this market? Now, we've taught you how to make more off the customer. But like the Indian sitting on the front porch of a general store, he says, chance. Everybody walked in, chance. They said, well, aren't you supposed to say how? He said, me know how, me need chance. So we know how. All we need is a chance. That's probably not appropriate, but I'm sorry. I may just cut this out here. If you see it, I beg your apology for that. But it's just something that came into my mind. Sometimes I say that. My wife says it's inappropriate, and I am sorry. I try to be a good boy when I'm speaking. So next webinar, we're going to show you how to get the customers in ways just like this that you've never seen before. I don't think. I'm pretty sure, because I created those two. I created this, and it worked. I had 5 mortgage companies, had those realtors. Now, that was at a time when you didn't have to have a license here to do mortgages too. This years ago. I had to let about 50 of them go. Then when Chase went under, well, they didn't go under, you know. The big banks, they got a bailout. You knew what a bailout was in 2008. So the big banks got a bailout. And I'm going to just do a little criticizing here, but it's okay. It helped me. I survived. Jamie Dimon, who was and still is CEO of Chase Bank. And we're doing business with Chase Manhattan Mortgage and Mortgage Department. So they got a $25 billion bailout. How many bailouts have you ever gotten in your business? I'm sure it's not $25 billion. And so I was all set up, downloading the rates, and that template that you saw was just part of it. We had many other things on there when we were doing the mortgages. I've taken those off to simplify it. But we could price those mortgages. We had a profit in there, and I download their rates from the internet every day. And if they change during the middle of the day, we change them. And we say these are subject to change. And so, and it turned red if we weren't making enough money for our originators. So it was all set up with Chase. I wasn't dealing with anybody else, really. Could have. We had some what they call B and C loans and maybe D. We didn't do many of those because I didn't believe in all those teaser rates. We start out at a low rate, and 6 months later, it comes up like 3%. It was terrible. But people wanted a house and they kept thinking they were going to go up. But anyway, back to Jamie Dimon. He got on CNN and made this statement. 60% of the bad loans that was done through Chase Manhattan Mortgage or Bank were done by brokers. That sounds terrible, Jamie. But the fact was, there was 70% of the total business being done brokers. So who was doing a better job? Now, every loan I did, every single loan was good. They said, Landon, that's a good loan because they underwrote it. And we tried to be honest. We had people, relatives, most of them, daughter-in-laws that wouldn't cheat you for anything. And we did it right. And they said we did. Every single one. But when it come time to share that $25 billion, we got to let these guys go. So they were able to get the $25 billion and do away with the whole division. All their reps and called on there, get rid of those guys. And they helped build the business, much like Amazon and others. I don't want to criticize these big companies, but that's a lot of times what happens. They'll use their affiliate program to build the business. And then once it gets going, they'll either reduce the commission or cut them all together. I guess that's the way of business. And it is just business. It's not personal, I'm sure. He doesn't know me. Never would know me. I'm a tiny fish in a great, great big pond. So, but I'm a happy fish. Despite some of those things. So we've made a little money. We've had a lot of fun. And you can do the same thing. So keep after it. I do thank you for attending this webinar. Oh, I didn't tell you. We're going to give another webinar about how to get the customers, and it's going to be dealing with the text catcher. I may have already said it, but I'll send you, just say you want to hear about that new webinar, and we'll send you a link to that and go over it. And I promise you, it'll be interesting, even if you may not want to do it, but it will be a little more salesy because we've got to offer something that costs me something. This cost me time, cost me some thought, which very limited supply on that these days, but I'm glad to do it. So I hope you gain something from this webinar and hope to see you again on the next one. And then I think it'll be worth it. So thanks again. Again, Benjamin Franklin said, time is the stuff that life is made of. And so you've given me part of your life today at this webinar. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. I didn't pitch, didn't try to sell, kept my word. For those about to sell, we salute you because it's not easy.